Hello, once again, my friends. I am Mark, as you know. And today, I got something cool for you. I actually got reached out to by FlashQuark, a seemingly pretty cool little company, and they sent me these FlashQuark switches to review. So I have some already out here, right here. Two of them have been lubed already. I wanted to make sure that how they sounded lubed versus unlubed. And I found a few interesting things already. So for one, they are actually quite nice. Unlubed already, they sound pretty good. Here, can you hear that? I hope you can hear that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see during the recording. However, I did notice one, I think, criticism of these already. And it's when they're lubed, they do actually sound a little better, but for some reason they get spring ping. A little bit. I don't know if you can hear that. I hope you can hear that. It's a lot more obvious when it's like right up to my ear. And for some reason it's only after they've been lubed. So a few other things is that the build quality of these is quite good. They feel quite nice. There's very little, there's no clicking if you try to shear it. There's not a whole lot of stem wobble, and because they're box switches, they obviously have a little bit more stability on the keycap. I don't know if it's placebo, but I think they're pretty. I think box switches are nice when they're done right, and these ones feel nice. I actually think these are some of the best box style switches that I've ever used, honestly. That being said, we'll go on. I'm going to try and put them in the board and then maybe give you an overview of what they're called or like what they're made out of, because I honestly forgot already. But here we go. So I have put in 2 lubed, 2 unlubed, and the rest are the palm pinks from Akko. So you'll have a point of comparison. This is the QK60 with a palm plate and the acrylic thing, and then like a nice purple bottom, and it has the rainbow thing, but no one cares about that because you don't ever see it. Don't get mad at me. I didn't make the rules. And so I have put in all of the switches, every single one of them. I know, that's crazy. But I did the unlubed version because I went over to my lovely wife, Rhiannon, and I was like, hey, which one do you like? And she said she liked the unlubed ones for one specific reason. And that was actually the sound of like the kind of the return. I don't know if you can hear it, but it has a very unique kind of like semi-marbly, I don't know how to describe it specifically, but the way that she described it was like a linear, more acceptable clicky, but just like nicer and a little more like premium. And I think I could agree with that. I wanted to describe like the sound profile, but it's very unique. Like the return sound is so distinctive. I'm not sure how much I love it personally. I think it is it does feel nice. Like it feels smooth. And compared to the palm pinks that I was using that were lubed, the unlubed ones of these are already smoother just on the face of it. And that's a good thing. I'm glad for that. I would almost compare them, the way that I think I could maybe describe them is potentially like a Gateron red, but more premium, like a more expensive Gateron red. And they feel like they have that. I don't know how to describe it. It's such an interesting feel, but I do like it. Anyway, their construction, the top part is the polycarbonate, and that's probably that really harsh return sound you hear is that the larger palm stem slap it into the top polycarbonate housing, and the bottom is nylon, which is a very commonly used one. They also have 2-stage springs, which definitely help that smoothness. They almost always increase the smoothness, in my opinion, and I quite like that. So I'm going to leave you guys with a sound test. And if you're interested in these switches, I actually will have an affiliate link, and you can go check them out. They did not pay me specifically for these switches. They just sent them, and they told me, we think that these switches are good and should compete with the upper end switches that are out there right now. And I would generally agree with that. I think they would probably be a pretty middle of the pack, pretty decent switch. And for the price, I think they are $45 for a pack of 100. They are a little cheaper, I think, than some of the alternatives. And honestly, for the fact that you don't have to lube them, if you like this sound, that's a really good deal, I think. But if you do, I think it's going to be a very hit or miss sound. Some people will really like this. Some people who like kind of a little bit louder keyboards with some like a little bit of a marbly feel to it, a little bit like, I don't know how to describe, like almost like resonant slightly, but like that, the top of the housing is what really like creates that sound. It's not like a loose sound, but it's a very unique sound. And if you like that, then these are fantastic switches. They feel great. But definitely it's going to make some enemies. I don't think this is for everybody, but I like what I'm seeing, and my wife really likes these. So it's definitely like if you were like a clicky Andy and you've become a linear enjoyer, you might love these. So anyway, here is the sound test.